the immensity of the love of the crowd itself, because it has been a while since I think I've gathered in a such huge gathering. Plus, to see people of so many different, as in the diverse crowd, with most of them that I've spoken to, they have not seen Swami before, and yet they were moved enough to actually come for a convention and spend the 4 days of their week and all. I think that immensity of that love actually made me feel probably sometimes I'm taking things a little bit too granted for, or at least in terms of Swami's mission. I think that was the most profound thing that I brought back home, Uncle.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ghani. Dr. Ghani, what you call, was one of the facilitators for the Eat Responsibly, session. In fact, I think they'll be sharing the actual session probably in the month of November. Okay. Yes, Brother Ganesh.
Saram. I learned a few things. The first thing I learned is that when a label says non-spicy, may not necessarily be non-spicy. In fact, the reverse could be very true. So that's how I think life is, Well, sometimes what we think and what we feel may not necessarily be what is in the real world. So it's a good reflection point. That aside, I shared some of the key awareness that I had that I reflected on. I took down about 15 pages of notes during the conference. It was one of the best conference that I felt that was very inward looking, really benefited from the excellent speakers and the workshops. I think everyone put their heart out, but I think Swami created an environment, a situation where I think he wanted a lot of people to come there, benefit, learn, express their love. And some people he also put there because I think he felt that maybe we needed some reminders. Now, these are some of the reminders that I took. None of this is new, but they were painfully very good in reminding again why we are part of this universe of Swami. In one of the messages, he said that if you serve my purpose in life, my mission, he said, I will remove your karma of your previous birth, and that brought so much of joy and happiness, because it shows you we are doing so little, right? And yet he's willing to do so much for us, So I feel that sometimes it's not equitable, but that's what he said. If you serve my purpose, I will remove your karma. Then Dr. Reddy mentioned this a few times. He said, no matter how much you learn, you become aware, you reflect, you contemplate, you put down notes, you think about it in the morning, you think about it in the evening, you recite it a million times. You still have to do one thing that is very, very important. That is practice it. Because the thought, the learning, the awareness must be in action and manifested in activity in this physical world, so that then it can benefit his purpose, and ourselves, right? And Dr. Reddy also said this, okay, he has selected us among the billions. And then imagine this, okay, there are billions of people, and the God that sent all the other God forms himself have selected this few hundred or few thousand people to serve him. It's really a great privilege, Another sister from US said this, and this was really very painful for all of us. What she said was something and very unique, and in the way I took it was slightly different a bit, but I felt that that's what she was saying. That's what Swami wanted me to do. Is that sometimes we think that, oh, I'm teaching at EHV. I spend 4 hours in weekends, or I do conduct every Tuesday. I'm doing this and helping people to do this satsang online, or I'm a bhajan coordinator or a Tamil translator, whatever it is, But the way she said it, this is how I took it, what exactly actually we are sacrificing, because Swami has said, whatever you need to serve my purpose, I provide you. You need time, I will give you the time. You need financials, I will provide you financials, So what is that actually we think? Sometimes we think that, oh, we are contributing, we are doing this, or sacrifice my time, because sometimes it does happen in our minds, Sometimes when we sleep late, or sometimes we don't get to finish our office work because we are doing side work, or we're doing anything else. We think that we are sacrificing for the organization, but actually he said, what is that actually you're sacrificing? I don't need you to sacrifice anything. All I need is for you to sacrifice your ego. And I thought that was very, very meaningful. The university chancellor said something that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. And that is said that if you walk 25,000 kilometers straight on a straight line, you'll make one circle and come back where you are standing from, because the world is a sphere, isn't it? It's round, right? You become a continuous loop. If you go a mile up to the atmosphere, you also come back down because there's no oxygen above 1 kilometer. So do you know really where you are not? He asked that to say, do you really know where you are? And the answer he said was that actually you are in jail and you don't even know you're in jail. Because if you know you're in the jail, the first thing you should be motivated is to find the key to get out of the jail. But the way I imagine it is like sometimes we actually buy things to put into the jail so the jail becomes more comfortable and we are very happy. And instead of finding a door out of the jail or key out of the jail, we are making ourselves more comfortable to be in the jail, And then he talked about how to have that awareness, how to get out of the jail. But Arvind shared about the Atma Dharma, which was so beautifully explained, and that being the most profound Dharma of all. Brother Suresh talked about the importance of bhakti, and more important than that is to have straightforwardness, shraddha, because you have bhakti, but if you don't have straightforwardness, if you waver, maybe occasionally once or twice, but then if it constantly happens, then you're actually doing exercise on the treadmill. You're wasting a lot of your own energy, time, and effort and love, but you may have not moved an inch. So shraddha actually is to get out of the treadmill and walk towards Swami. And second last point is human birth is a rare gift. And the most important thing about this human birth and to appreciate the rare gift is to have this intense yearning for liberation. And finally, Professor Bhagia said this. Swami said this apparently through what Professor Bhagia shared. One of the speakers shared. Swami said this: if you ever separate your time with world or with me, leave me for a second, or if you to neglect your duties or responsibilities, or if you separate your attention between me and the world, he said, even in 1,000 years, you will not reach me. And that's how I remember that. And finally, the last point is that with all this stringent, high expectation, Swami then gives a very nice backdoor exit, actually, to make, because he's so loving, right? All he says that to achieve all this, all you have to do is this one simple thing. Whatever you do in your life, do everything for God. And in this way, whatever you do, whatever you think, as your constant awareness of doing it for God will actually allow you to reach me. Those were the things that I thought that was the most relevant to me that I thought of sharing. Thank you, Sarah.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you for your inspiring sharing. By the way, Brother Ganesh was one of the facilitators during the event, on the subject of resource management under core. Okay. How about the others? Is the Nalini?
Sairam, brothers and sisters. Yeah, there's quite a lot of take-home points, but I would like to share a few, and which I have started practicing consistently ever since the convention. Of course, number one is when the purpose of the organization is to realize our true nature, especially when we engage with all the organizational activity as well as when we practice Swami's teachings. Secondly, one of the best tool that Swami has given us to engage, to progress in our spiritual sadhana is to chant Gayatri Mantra. So when Sister Girija shared, she said 3 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 3 in the evening. So she said if it's not enough, increase the dosage that means increase the number of chants. So that's I used to chant every day in the morning and evening. So now I've started in the afternoon as well. And then we are God, and everything we do is to realize the presence of Swami within us. And when we serve, it is we are serving ourselves, so that we realize the divinity within us. And one important point is that I always feel that I always feel that, oh, do I have time? Can I balance? But when we attended the session, Brother Dr. Reddy and Sister Rama and also Brother Krishnamurti, they said that do not separate Swami's work and our organizational work or our office work. So everything is Swami's work. So I think that's a very good reminder for me. And I just tell Swami, grant me the strength to love you my whole life and give me the strength to serve you. That's my take-home point, and I'm practicing now. Thank you, Brother Saira.
Thank you, Dr. Nalini. How about the others? Any of you who were not there, but you watched the event through the live streaming?
Sairam.
Yes, sir, I'm Dr. Sabitan. Yeah.
Sairam. So perhaps I would just like to share my experience being there throughout the conference and traveling with this the wonderful group from Malaysia. We had a wonderful time traveling, connecting, and really feeling, that oneness we speak of all the time. Just at, during satsangs, when we speak about oneness, and actually feeling that when you're alongside people, like-minded individuals who actually think for the betterment of people around, and who put Swami's values, especially in the front of their endeavors in life. So I was very fortunate to travel with such people in this journey. And I was also immensely grateful to be given the opportunity to present two modules, one of core and one of ease. And it gave me deeper perspectives into what the people of Sri Lanka really needed. Because initially, to be honest, I did not think, I was a bit doubtful, to be honest. I was a bit doubtful, how would this be accepted by the Sri Lankan crowd, especially these modules. If we were too high, our presentation level were too high, or if the content was a bit difficult for them to digest. But to my surprise, they were all very interested. They were very humble. And the earnestness to improve themselves, the earnestness to lift themselves from where they are in the very moment, is something which really struck me, because they really wanted to, like what Brother Ganesh says, they want to remove themselves from the jail, and like also what Brother Kani says, similarly, I had the similar experience if I was taking things a bit too granted. And that was one part. And the other part was wonderful experiences while presenting and connecting with the audiences itself. It was really great that they were all able to reciprocate. And more importantly, they all felt that our presence were really helpful and beneficial for them, especially the topics that we managed to share with them, when we quite delicately shared about EASE, and then subsequently we went in and dived in deeper with the core, CORE, consistency and all that. And they they felt that this is something that they have been missing all this while, and they really wanted to go, they wanted to dive even deeper. However, we had time constraints, so hopefully in the future we can go back again, or maybe we can engage them again in a, perhaps in a different platform, so we can help them understand those modules even better. And maybe before I end, I would just like to share one experience of when they were chanting Rudram, and they were, ushering the Paduka into the auditorium. And I think everyone there felt the intense or the immense presence of Bhagavan there at that very moment. It was so strong, and it was so positively charged at that very moment, and you could see literally the person beside me, in front of me, everyone was in tears, because that was the amount of the presence that we felt at that very moment. Saira.
Saram, thank you, Brother Bitan. Those of you who Brother Arvind has posted what they call I think a video, I think yesterday, about his experience in Sri Lanka. And this is something you must what they call watch, about the pains. Sri Lanka has gone through a civil war some years back, and the people there is really suffering pain, and the pain has actually helped them to strengthen their faith in Swami. Okay. So anyone else would like to share before we move on? Those of you who have watched the live streaming.
Sairam, brother.
Yes, Sairam, sister.
Sairam, I'm Sister Ramla from Ipoh Center. I should say, and I must say, this is one of the best conference. So beautiful, so blissful. And, we get up early morning, like 4 o'clock until the evening. We were so energized. We were so happy. The Savadals were so sweet. I've never seen Savadals smiling all the time, Everyone was like, just like the breeze, just like the breeze. We were moving like the breeze, along with the breeze. It was so, until today, I'm feeling that bliss, brother. And I must share most of the things Brother Ganesh and Dr. Kani and Dr. Sabitan have shared, and of course Dr. Nalini too. One incident that took place in the room E1 during our workshop, I had a fall and both my knees were hurt. And, the way the sisters came to me, in fact, the whole world, sisters from America, sisters from Thailand, sisters from Malaysia, everybody was attending to me. My tears just flew, thanking Swami. Swami, am I this gifted? Am I this fortunate to have the service of all the sisters? And it didn't end there. Till the last day, Dr. Rama checked on me, and she kept on giving me some painkillers so that my knees don't swell and all that. And all the other sisters like Dr. Anuradha and Dr. Nalini and other sisters, Deepa and a friend, they applied oil, they applied vibhuti on my knees. It was so touching, brother. It was so touching. I will never rest in peace if I don't share this. That is Sai. Swami brought and he showed us all that love that Sai sisters have. Not only Sai sisters, of course, all Sai members. We are all one family. We are all brothers and sisters. And we experience this love in Sri Lanka. Truly, 100%. Thank you, Brother Fong. We enjoyed all the satsangs, all the speakers. It was so beautifully organized. Thank you once again, Swami. Jai Sairam.
Thank you, Saram, sister. The event, we have close to 1,000 participants and about close to 20 countries participated in the event. Okay. Anyone else like to share?
Sairam, Brother Billy.
Yes, Saram, Sister Gita. Yes.
I watched live streaming And I
Yes.
was in tears, when
Wow,
I saw,
amazing.
I could feel the vibes from here, from my place in Subang. And I was, I just couldn't stop flowing because it was so blissful. That's the only word I can describe it. And, I was looking forward to some of the programs live streaming. I could see some, but not all. It was fantastic, I should say. Everyone looked as if they were treated like kings and queens, so well seated. Everything was so beautifully, I saw such a beautiful images of this conference. So I made up my mind. I saw what shall I say, the initial information for next year's conference in Nairobi. So I said, Swami, if it's your grace, I would like to attend this Sairam.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, sister, for your sharing. Anyone else like to share? If not, over to you, Dr. Suresh.
Sairam, dear brothers and sisters, Sairam. Really nice to hear so many wonderful experiences for those who participated and even for those who are watching the serial. So beautiful, and it's nice. We can keep on hearing all the experiences. It's so nice to hear. Now we go back to the study circle. So we listen. Really, this was your session, right?
Okay, Saram, everyone. Actually, we thought we had finished the session on ignorance, but then Dr. Suresh felt that this particular subject is of great importance. Okay, let me just read through the letter. The brief is a very brief letter. And as Swami say, my dear boys, okay, ignorance is the greatest curse in life. Ignorance is the burden in life. Ignorance is the darkness in disguise. Ignorance is the causes misery in life. My boys, this understanding is difficult. Misunderstanding is easy. Purity of body, thought, and action is above all ritual, ceremony, and other religious regimentation. God is infinite. He is with you, in you, around you. He is I. Okay. And then a quick recap. Okay, we started off by going through this particular article where we are here. They look at the picture here. Where Swami said we are here to awaken from the illusion of separateness. Okay. Then we went on to talk about it. The purpose of the Sai organization is to recognize the divinity inherent in us. So what do you mean by this? Okay. And then we went on to talk about
Wait, hold on. Go
Yeah.
back. Go slowly. Go back to the first slide. This slide. Another one. So
Okay.
this is very powerful here because Baba said in one speech, he spoke in English. He was speaking in Telugu. Then this particular line he spoke in English. He said, those who are now seeing dwell is half blind. Baba said, those who are seeing dwell, that means I and you as separate. He said, you are half blind. So whenever we come into spirituality, it's always towards oneness. There's never something like separation or something division or something diversion or something fraction or something fiction. All these are not correct. Whenever we come to the Atma wants only oneness. See, why when somebody was watching, Sister Gita was watching that scene in Sri Lanka, thousands of miles away, why you felt crying? It's because there were thousands of people there. The Atma gets connected. So Atma likes oneness, always being together. And that oneness experience where we go and experience and come back, even now it is in that state of bliss. One more point I think you should mention. Dr. Reddy mentioned that your person is happy, he's handsome, he's got all the wealth in his life, he's got children. And that happiness is, let's say, is equal to 1. Baba said, times it by 10 to the power 18 quintillon. The bliss that we are supposed to experience is that happiness multiplied by 10 to the power 18 quintillon. So the bliss is my single concept. What does it mean? It means that there's a higher stage of bliss and happiness we're supposed to achieve. But we are so contented and happy with this one time. That is what we should now strive for. The 10 to the power 18 quintillon of bliss. How to get that bliss? How do you see everything in oneness? How can we see everything that is correct and right and experience that throughout the whole day? That, I think, is really the very purpose of spirituality. And we can, of course, continue our life and do all the things we want to do. But it is critical that we make sure that we achieve this at least in this lifetime. So these statements are very important. We are here to awaken from the illusion of separateness. So you work, like I need to go to work, so they may separate. But when you are doing work, work and you should become one. You and spouse become one. You and the food should become one. You and walking, you enjoy. So this oneness is what we should strive for. If we ever have any other emotion, then we are dual. And Baba said, those who are dual is half blind. That's what Swami said. So this is something very powerful. It's a benchmark,
Okay, thank you, Dr. Suresh.
Oh, by the way, another thing is Maya. Maya comes from two words, Ma, which means to say she, Ya, which means is not there. So she, who is not there. Now this is the concept of Maya. So what does it mean? It means that the moment you know she's existing, she vanishes. So the moment you know it is illusion disappears with knowledge. So that's why the Vice Chancellor mentioned Yoga Maya. So Yoga Maya is an intrinsic quality of divine also, but it is that Yoga Maya that will take us to where? Take us to Nama Rupa. Because Baba said, Dr. Reddy said, remember the talk was the 5 things. What is that? Sachit, Chit, Ananda, Nama Rupa. So the Nama Rupa is going into division, multiplication, seeing the world. This Nama Rupa will give us overwhelming of the world. The whole world will feel overwhelmed. The world will continue to give us obligations and commitments. But when we have enough strength, we look at inside, we go to Sachidananda, that is to come to oneness. That oneness, when we experience, we will find that we achieve our goal. Otherwise, we will get cheated in this world. So we should not be cheated. We should not be seduced by this Yoga Maya. We should be very vigilant and to be very, righteous in our way, so that we'll be able to achieve that.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Suresh. Okay, we talk about the purpose of the organization, and to help us to get rid of the ignorance and to realize the inherent divinity in us, the Swami has given us a very powerful integral yoga, which is a 9-point code of conduct, which cover Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. And all of us are here tonight for this Jnana Yoga, because without going through the writings of Swami, we will not gather so much of information, okay? And then we talk about how this particular 9-point code of conduct covers personal sadhana, family sadhana, as well as community sadhana, and how the importance of meditation and prayers, and how these particular 2 prayers are very important, because it helps us to remind us that God is behind everything, that we are able to talk, to walk, and think and act is because God is there, okay? Okay, now this is something for tonight. Okay, ignorance is when we do not recognize God. Okay, so the text is taken from the monsoon showers in Prashanti line. Okay, where Swami say, "Oh God, this is a Telugu poem. Okay, given by Swami. Oh God, in spite of having eyes, people are verily blind, as they do not yearn to see your auspicious form. Though they are endowed with ears, they are deaf to your teachings. Though God is immanent in them, they have drowned themselves in worldly lives. How can one describe their misfortune?" So this is what ignorance is about. It's not recognizing God.
Yeah. Then there are various levels also. The Swami has said, then if you are Baba said in the conference, I think somebody was talking also, that if you are You can be born as a human being. To be born as a human being, you're lucky. But to be born as a human being and to have sentiments for God, now then you're luckier. But to be born as a human being and to suddenly recognize the avatar, that is even fantastic. Then that's the third boon, to recognize and the avatar, to be contemporary of the avatar. Fourth one is not just recognized by the avatar, to know now to work for God. That is the greatest boon. The fourth boon that we must have is the fact that not only we recognize the Guru, but we have the fortune of working for the Guru. And in this world, whatever that we are doing outside there is good, carry on, that's all good. But we also should spare some time to be committed to working toward the Guru. I think this is what, when you find that you're connecting, then you find the level of the ignorance will slowly diminish, or the intensity of the ignorance will slowly diminish as we continue to work for Him.
Okay. Then Swami said that ignorance is to doubt the existence of God. Swami said, can you see your own eyes? How can you say that you have eyes when you cannot see them? Only when you have a mirror in front of you, you can see your eyes. You say, my mind, okay? What is the form of the mind? Can you see your mind? If you cannot see, how can you believe you have a mind? In the same way, you cannot see God, but it is foolishness to doubt His existence. Though He is not visible, He is the basis of the entire universe. Though air is pervasive, you cannot see it. God is all-pervasive. He is present in the form of air and all the 5 elements. So this is where Satyajit, when he came to Malaysia, he shared a story. He was in the car with Swami, and then Swami kept asking him, okay, what do you want? So Satyajit couldn't really answer that, So Swami keep on persisting, okay. Finally, Satyajit, says, Swami, I want to see your Vishwarup, your cosmic form. And then in the car, there was another professor there. And Swami was looking out the window. And he if I may paraphrase it, okay, he said, you are seeing the Vishwarup of God every day, the nature, the beautiful trees, and yet you say you have not seen the Vishwarup of God. Okay, so this is where we everything in this world is God. Whenever we see beautiful nature, beautiful things, this is God. Okay, and for this, I'd like to share a particular song, okay, bhajan song. It was composed by Guru Nanak, and Paramahamsa Yogananda used to sing this song. It's about God is beautiful. Okay, let's listen to this beautiful song.
Oh God, beautiful.
Okay, all right. Now next is ignorance of the magnificent and omnipotent power of God. Okay, so Swami once said this: with God's grace, the blind can see. With God's grace, the dumb can speak eloquently. With God's grace, the lame can climb mountain. With God's grace, everything is possible. So sometimes we do not believe until we see something like this, okay? So next, I'd like to share with you a video clipping from Brother Arvind Balasubramanian, okay?
There, one person began to criticize and condemn Swami, saying that all his claims to divinity were false and all the miracles were doctored. Swami gave him such a befitting response in the most unexpected manner. Swami's discourse was due, and as Swami rose to speak, he picked a boy from one of the front rows in the gathering. Now, many people in the gathering knew that this boy was deaf and mute. It's a known fact that any child that is born deaf also becomes mute because there is no way for the baby to learn spoken language when it's unable to hear sounds. So this boy had been deaf and mute since birth. And Swami calls him to the stage, puts a microphone in front of him and asks him, "What is your name?" Oh my God, what was going to happen? Much to the delight of all the devotees who had gathered and much to the dismay of the naysayers and the disbelievers, this boy thundered into the microphone, "Venkatanarayana." Oh my God, the mute had spoken. Mukam karoti vachalam, goes the saying that the Lord can make the mute speak. And that was the miracle that was witnessed by hundreds in public in the city of Trichinopoli.
Okay, so our sadhana is actually to believe that Swami is God, as mentioned by Professor Bhagya. Okay, in fact, Swami once mentioned to Haji Papat that those who are near him, some of them do not believe them is God. Okay, and ignorance also is of the fact that the real wealth is love, grace, and blessing of God. Swami said, all your mistakes come back to you in a form of reaction, reflection, and resound. But you forgot that the mistakes you commit and blame others for your troubles and sufferings. Nobody can escape from the consequence of his action. However, it is possible to escape from the consequences of your action by God's grace. God's grace can reduce to ashes mountains of sin in a moment. So therefore, how can we get God's grace? Okay, so at this juncture, I like feedback from you all. What do you think? God's grace is so important. Swami say, invest in getting God's grace. But what can we do to get God's grace? Yes, anyone? What can we do to get God's grace?
I think we should work for Swami, then he will give us his grace selflessly. We work in his mission. That's the only way we can think that grace can come.
Yes, yes. In fact, Dr. Reddy used to tell a story whereby at one point of time, Swami wanted to pay someone some money, and he didn't have, we know Swami doesn't have any pocket. So he borrowed 100 rupee from Dr. Reddy, okay, to pay someone, okay. And then in the evening, okay, Dr. Reddy was with him, and then Swami, told Dr. Reddy, okay, you lend me 100 rupees this morning, okay, so I'm returning back to you the money. And Dr. Reddy said, Swami, you've given me 500 rupees, I give you back the change. But then Swami said, no, this you lend me 100 rupees, I will give you, this is my payback to you. But Swami, I only lend you 100 rupees, but why you give me 500? Okay? So this is where we do things for God, God will pay you back many folds, okay? In fact, there's a story of once, someone asked Swami, okay, a student, Swami, Swami asked a student, do you know why I always ask my student to distribute prasadam? And Swami, you want to give us some service to do. Swami said, no, it's not that. I ask you to distribute prasadam so that when you need me, okay, my grace will flow to you a millionfold, okay. So our God is a very generous God. He always looks for opportunity for us to give something to him so that he will give us his grace in a millionfold, okay. And with this, I'd like to share the story of Uncle D.G. Krishnamurti, okay, which was shared by Sister Anuradha during the Sri Lanka conference, okay. So once Uncle D.G. was traveling to somewhere, and for some reason, there was an accident. The car overturned 4 times, 4 times. The luggage all were, came off from the boot. And then, but fortunately for him and those in the car, they only had slight bruises here and there. So then Uncle TG, got the car fixed, towed to a workshop. And after about a week or so, he went to Puttaparthi to see Swami, to thank Swami, okay. Before he could see Swami, one of the devotees, senior devotees, spoke to Uncle TG, how are you? How was the accident? Were you hurt or not? Then Uncle TG was surprised. How do you know that I had an accident? Because Uncle TG didn't tell anyone except for a short telegram that he sent to Swami. Okay, well, Swami said that you had an accident. Then when Uncle TG met Swami, he said, Swami, thank you for your grace that I'm safe. Then Swami said, no, I did not save you. No, Swami, you must have saved me. I won't be alive now, is it? Then Swami said, it is the merits from the service that you have done that has saved you. Okay. So according to Uncle TG, he said that whenever he did something, anyone say, thank you, or praise him, say, Sairam, Sairam, all grace goes to God. So this is where, if we really want God's grace, do his service. Okay. And other than that, we must follow his words completely, implicitly, and immediately. So that reminds me of another story, okay, of Dr. Michael Goldstein, okay. Once where Dr. Michael Goldstein was with Swami, and Swami said, Swami, I'm going back 2-3 days time. Then Swami told him, no, change your flight. So Dr. Goldstein, he changed his flight. Okay, from Bangalore to Chennai, okay. But then when he was on the flight, then from Chennai, he went back to US. When he was on the flight was being kidnapped, was being hijacked. And he nearly lost his life, okay. In fact, before the incident, Swami, he was on the car with Swami, and Swami looked at him very sternly before he embarked on the flight. Swami gave him a packet of vibhuti. Keep this with you at all times, okay. And this may be the last time that you can see me, okay. So Dr. Goldstein didn't know what Swami meant, okay. And subsequently, after the incident, he came back to see Swami, and then he realized that he did not follow Swami's command completely. Swami said change his flight. He only changed from Bangalore to Chennai, but from Chennai back to US, he did not change, you see. So it's very important for us to, if we want God's grace, you must always follow his commands, okay? His divine commands. His commands are in what they call the writings, the books, written by Swami. Okay. Any comments from the rest of it before I move on?
Sairam, Swami has said, how can you expect full-time grace with part-time devotion? So from this, we know that we must have full-time grace to full-time devotion to receive his grace. Sairam.
Sairam. Thank you, Sister Bu. I remember the story you told, you spoke in Kuan Hall. We mentioned that once you were driving, your family are driving along the road, and suddenly
yes.
something happened to the car,
Yes, correct.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
That was a beautiful story. What happened then? Okay.
Huh? What happened? You mean that story itself? That story?
Yeah, this story. Maybe like.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We stood by the car and we prayed and we did put vibhuti on the car, on the bonnet, all that. And then suddenly we saw one car drove past us very fast, and then at a great distance, that person reversed in the dark of the night. It was at night after 12, so he reversed all the way back to where we were. Then when he got out of the car, I thought I recognized him as one of my husband's friends. But then when he walked nearer, it's my own brother. It's my own brother. At that time in the night, he passed by us, and he said, what caught his eye, although he was driving very fast, what caught his eye was the two of us standing outside the car, and he realized that it was us. So that's why he reversed back. Yeah. So at that time we couldn't get taxi home, and that time still not in the era of handphones and all that. So anyway, when my brother stopped to help us, we walked to the, I think that was that interchange. A little distance away, we got the help of the interchange people. They helped us to get a tow truck to tow our car to the workshop there. And my brother fetched us home. And in the car, he told us actually he wasn't supposed to come back that day. But somehow after he was living in Penang, working in Penang that time. But somehow that day, at about 5 o'clock, something told him that he need to go home. Because although he was in Penang, his family was in Muar. So because of that strong urge to go home, to go back to Muar, he made the trip immediately after work. So our paths cross, at the right time. It is really Swami's grace, Swami's help. Yeah. And of all things, my own brother fetches home. Yeah. To Muar. Yeah. That was quite a remarkable story. Yeah.
Yeah. So we normally think, okay, this is coincidence, but this is this is what I call God's grace. Okay.
It's because of the timing. Yeah.
Yes.
Actually,
Yes.
the
Yes.
timing. He could have passed by earlier or later, or no, but it had to be that moment. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Sister Bu. Okay, Dr. Surya, I remember you mentioned something like this before about the car you were traveling and the fan belt broke, and then from nowhere someone came and had a fan belt. Okay, do you remember the story? Like to share with us?
Yeah. So this was time when we just got married. So I took my wife up the hill, this in Damansara side, and somehow, embarrassingly, the fan belt broke, and we can't even move from there. It's not fan belt. I think it was the tire. Sorry, the tire got punctured, not the fan belt. So we waited there, and so I came out of the car, prayed to Swami. Then one taxi driver came along. The taxi driver, I said, the tire punctured, cannot move. So he opened up the bonnet. He took out a spare tire, and embarrassingly, the spare tire did not have air. So now he takes this spare tire and he takes this punctured tire and puts it in his bonnet. Wow. So he just puts it like that and said, I don't even know whether this guy will ever come back or not. So then, of course, I can leave the car there, but that means the car will not be I don't even know whether the car will be there when we return. Or I can follow the taxi driver and leave my wife in the car, which is not a very good ethical thing to do. If I can send the wife in the thing, is not true. So I said, the only thing we can do is, since we prayed to Swami and this came in, just allow it. So he took the two tires and went off, and no sign of him for next 20, 25, 30 minutes. Then he comes back again with all the tires all done. Then he fixes the tire, he pushes me aside. So I was trying to help him, he pushes me aside. And he puts the tire in the car, puts the other tire in the bonnet, closes the bonnet, and he's going. So I rushed to him and I said, no, thank you so much. Can you I'll give some money. He said, no money, nothing, don't worry, no money. I said, no, you travel all the way, petrol station came there. At least let me give you the money. And he didn't accept the money also. And he just went there. And I told my wife, you see, Kuala Lumpur people are very friendly people. So this is what the thing that happened at that time when you're in crisis, just as I just recall what Sister Jeannie was saying.
Okay, and I don't mind, Dr. Suresh, you mentioned another story whereby you're looking for a house and then someone dressed as Shadi Baba appear in front of you and just was telling you something which was really amazing.
Okay, yeah. So we were staying all together with my father and mother, wife and I. So for many years, my father said, look for a house, search for a house. And, anytime I come out of the house, I'll do all the side thing, run here and there. Then he'll come back and he'll ask me, have you looked for it? And I said, yeah, I'm trying to look. I'm not seen, but really the intention is not so strong. But I will still look to see whether there are any for sale sign house to buy a house. So one day I got a call from a housing agent. And the housing agent said, go and see whether you like this house. So I stood in front of that house. Stood in front of the house. Then this Indian man, in a very having a turban kind of thing, white beard, with having a cloth bag. So he passed by, and he told me, "Time has come. Better buy the house." So I didn't even know, because there's no for sale sign there. I was just standing there. There's no way he could have known that I'm buying a house. So he said, "Time has come. Better buy." So I asked him, "Who are you?" He said, "I am, don't ask who I am. Always ask who you are. That is more important than asking that." Then I asked this question, "Where do you live?" He said, "I live here, I live there, I live everywhere." Like that. Then his eyes was really watery. So it's on a tar road. I fell flat on the tar road and fell on his feet. He took it out. He put the hand in his vibhuti packet. Hand in the yellow. I lifted my head. I saw half the bag was full of vibhuti. He took it and put on my forehead. Don't stop. Don't think because there's no money, you should not buy. Buy. Time has come. Buy. 1 year before this, I was in the interview room. It's my wife. And Swami said, when the time comes to buy the house, I will tell you. I will physically walk with you. So then I said, "Baba, what do you mean by that?" "Hey, it is not your house, it is my house." He said like that. And true enough to fulfilling his words, this happened 1 year later when this person, like Shirdi, came and told me that. And then he turned around and he walked away. He didn't disappear, he just walked away. And that's the time when I got a call from Brother Jega, and I was talking to him and telling him about the experience. And that's the house that we're living now. So this is all, as all these things happened miraculously or some grace. But I think most important is, Baba gave a formula. Swami said, if you want God's grace, he gave a formula. Grace is proportional to effort. So you calculate and see, effort is the most important. So most important thing is, what happens is, most people, they finish all their obligations, all their commitments, settle everything, then come and do Swami's work. That effort is, okay, same effort. But when you cannot afford to give time, when you cannot afford to give because you're so full of obligations and so full of commitments, yet you squeeze some time to give it to Swami, that effort is really powerful. That effort brings a lot of grace. It is just equivalent, the same story as the, that boy who saved money from the Dobie thing, which has been numerously repeated many times. Swami took that envelope and inside the interview room and came back and he read. He said he read the letter and said, "This is not little money. This is crores and crores and crores of money." The letter said, "Swami, I was from the Dobie. I got up in the morning and washed the clothes. So I saved the money. I hope you can buy one brick of a hospital." So one brick of a hospital. And so Baba, in Baba's eyes, it is crores and crores. See, that calculation you must see. This is you must not mistake. It's not dramatic language. It's calculation. So for him, it is not that small. When you cannot afford to do so, and yet you're doing so, that effort is proportional to a very large amount of grace. So dear brothers and sisters, what is critical here is, take time, whatever little you can do, increase it. If last time you were doing 3 hours of seva, now you increase it to 4. Take something, some part of the missionary work, and just keep on dedicating your time and energy. Sister Maya is here, she's here. She asked that question. And you know, she's a wonderful person. And then she is doing some bags, and you know, but it's amazing. So then from that bags, she's selling it, I'm giving it or selling it. And then the funds are going towards the poor people. So anything and everything that you do is counted. That is the most important thing we must understand. Everything and anything you do goes into the grace bank. So why don't we just invest time and energy? If you want to get worried, worry how we can contribute to Swami's mission. If you want to have anxiety, then have the anxiety that I also want to be part of the mission. If you want to have trouble, then be troubled that we are not doing enough. Like that. Turn the whole mind to something of this nature. You find that you can get anchored into Swami's mission. That's why if you look at my presentation, at the end of the day, I can have happiness linked to CIA, integrated awareness, then consciousness integrated awareness, constant integrated awareness. Then I can go up, and Baba said, I have Shraddha, but Shraddha can be divided into 2 parts, which is yearning and consistency. Then I went up, further up, how to remind myself that. And I talked about the fact that Baba said 2 things we must not forget, death and God. Then, okay, that also can forget, but how, I mean, easiest way is plug into the mission. Once you plug into the mission, you're part and parcel of the system. So nothing to worry. Mantras will be learned, everything will come. It's automatically, everything will come into us because we are part of his mission. I think this is what we should really learn from this particular story. And this is the only way we can keep ignorance away. Yeah. By continuously plugging into his mission, Yoga Maya, the ignorance will stay away from us. Otherwise, ignorance will come and overwhelm us. Side up.
Thank you, Dr. Suresh. Okay, something on ignorance, okay? Why sometimes we get problem? So we say, he is not responsible for your worries and problems.
You have sown the seed of poison. But you expect very tasteful fruits. You cannot partake the bad fruits. And you blame me later. What you have sown are poisonous seeds. But you expect sweet fruits. As you cannot partake bitter fruits, you blame God. This is ignorance.
Okay, Saram. Okay, Swami once said, remember, that the road of life, is curved here and there, and we do not know. Sometimes there can be big boulders or rocks in front. But the service that we do are like a shock wave, that travel and what they call break these stones. That's why sometimes find that life, our journey is so smooth. Because why? We have been doing a lot of service, and because of that, life is so smooth for us. Okay, so never neglect doing service. Okay, and Dr. Rama Devi in her talk on ease. Okay, she mentioned the very importance of doing service is to develop the love inside us. Okay, so those of you who have not watched the video, okay, which is available on SSIO's YouTube channel, her video is there. Okay, she spoke on the first day. So now, ignorance of our life, of our roles in life. So we say, okay, in this vast world, birds, animals, insects, and even ants and mosquitoes discharge their duties. But man today has forgotten his duty and is putting his sacred human body to improper use. So some say that this body, that we have is most precious, and we must make good use, proper use of it. So what do you mean by putting sacred body to improper use? Is where the guy on the left, okay, never take care of his body, eating not responsibly, and then the body is to do service, but here is a group of people spending their time in the casino, wasting time, wasting money. And here you got the drunken here, okay? And this is where, Swami said that the world is today is chaotic because men do not know their duties, their role. So this is where in 1996, okay, in conjunction with the first World Youth Conference, okay, a group of youth, gathered together to come out with a book called The Voice of the Avatar on Dharma for Life, okay? The Voice of the Avatar on Dharma for Life. And this is where we managed to get participation from youth from all over the world to come and research on Swami's teaching. On what does Swami say about the role of son and daughter, the role of student, the role of husband and wife, the role of parents, the role of youth, the role of gurus, the role of doctors, the role of side devotees, and the role of side leaders. And we got this, and we put this into this particular book, which is out of print now. But those of you who are interested, you can let me know. I can send you the link where you can download this book. Okay, so this is very important. So Swami has come to this world to establish Dhamma Samstapana, to tell people, okay, that what is actual role? The world is chaotic. We see divorces because why? The wife does not know her role. The husband does not know his role, and everything is chaotic. And today we have got what they call so much problem because the children do not know about their role as a son or as a daughter. And subsequently, this particular book, we took excerpts of it and we make it into a video, And this was presented to Swami before Mahasamadhi, and Swami by Sister Adeline Tay from Penang, just to let you all have a glimpse of the video, which was subsequently what they call improved on, upgraded. If you want to have the videos on this, please send me a message. I can send you the link. Okay. Now let's watch a glimpse of one of the videos of this on the role of husband and wife. Okay.
The Dharma of husband and wife. Marriage is a spiritual union of two individuals. Before marriage, he is half body, she is half body. Ladies, always left side. Right side is gents. Now, the left side is joined with the right side, and you are a full body. If one part of the body is paralyzed, the other part of the body feels the paralysis, and so she must feel his pains and he must feel her pains. Husband should help wife and wife should help husband. Sometimes it is natural for you to have anger, ego, temper, tension. You must have adjustment and understanding. First, you must understand each other. After that, adjustment will be easy. First, understanding. Second, adjustment. It is the husband's duty to protect the good name of his family. He must ever be vigilant to protect the honor of the family. Women should realize that, irrespective of their education or position, their foremost obligation is to protect the home. The home is heaven itself. It is the duty of women to maintain it as such. Man should honor his wife as the mistress of the home and act in accordance with her wishes. Then only can he deserve the status of man. Men should not make the women shed tears. They should respect and revere them. Then only there will be prosperity and happiness. Just as women should consider one person and one person only as her master and husband, man too has to be faithful to one woman and one woman only as his mate, his wife. Women are the exemplars and leaders for men to tread the spiritual path. Moved by the desire to cross this ocean of samsara, the husband and the wife must both have harmony of mind. The resolution to reach the goal must be equally strong and steady in both. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu.
So Sairam, brothers and sisters, so this is something which many out there are ignorant about. They do not know what is the role of husband, role of wife. That's why conflicts comes in. And this is where we can do our part to spread Swami's message, to the far corners of the world by sharing this particular video to our friends, young people who are about to get married. Okay. All right. So now I'd like to move on to something that's called the Plato's cave. Okay. Why is it that there's so much of ignorance? Okay. So Plato is the disciple of Socrates. And in fact, Swami mentioned about Socrates in one of his discourse, okay? In one of Plato's writing, he talked about a cave, In this cave, there are these people who have been shackled, So what they can watch throughout their life from young until, they are adults, they can only see shadows, okay? So behind them, there's a wall, and behind the wall, there's these people who have been what they call holding what they call pictures, okay, cut pictures. And behind these people, there's a fire. So this is like a wayang kulit, a shadow play, where throughout their life, these people they watch this. So they think throughout their life, they think that okay, the dog is like this, and this to them is the reality. Until one day, this one of them kind of was allowed to walk out of the cave. So he went out, and then he saw the bright sunlight, and then he saw the gardens, everything was so beautiful. And then he came back to, after some time, it was very difficult for him to adjust, okay? And he subsequently came back and told them, hey, this is the truth. The truth is that what we are watching is unreal, And the real is that you must go out to explore, okay? So this is where we are more or less like these people, okay? When we are in the mother's womb, we receive messages from what the mothers see or experience, okay? And when we are young, the world, especially the world today, is so much of information, overload of information, social media. So what we see is false, okay? So the outside was telling us, okay, success means you must acquire, a lot of cars, a lot of money, a lot of building, okay? So this is the illusion world that we are being exposed to. And this is where ignorance is caused. Why we are all this while have been exposed to the Maya world. And our job now is to to get rid of this ignorance. Swami say right vision is very important. Right vision is very important. See no evil, see what is good. And it's only when we have right vision, we will have right thoughts. When we have right thoughts, we have right feeling. When we have right feeling, we have right action. And with right action, that will be our destiny. Okay, so this is from a website called After School, okay? Google this, they have got many good videos, and the good videos are in a very pictorial form, okay? Next, okay, I'd like to call upon Sister Mei-Ling to share her thoughts on this, okay? Sister Mei-Ling.
Hello, everyone. Okay, what is the relationship between man and bliss? Bhagavan lovely explained, so we may have a better perspective as we try to attain it. Humanness originates from Ananda, bliss. Grow in Ananda, immerse in Ananda. This bliss is the goal of man. Man is born in bliss. To manifest bliss is the duty of man. This is the secret of human saga. Every individual makes a variety of efforts to experience bliss, from infancy to old age. Man dedicates every effort of his to secure bliss, but this bliss is not to be found in the places he searches. When he is where every embodiment of bliss, to seek for it outside himself is shamefully. Does any man in the world search for himself outside himself? If such a search is a sign of ignorance, equally then search for bliss outside one's self is a mark of ignorance. Water can exist without fish, but fish cannot exist without of water. A branch of part of a tree. A child is a part of the mother. A branch cannot survive apart from the tree. The child cannot live without the mother. Likewise, the human existence is based on the divine. Man is a spark of the divine. Without the divine, man cannot experience bliss. So this one is, from this paragraph, we realize that as a human being, form is a very rare gift from God. If you have a form as a human being, at times we always forgotten our duty and forgotten our destiny. You know, we look out bliss from outside. You know, we are so much entangled with our body, with our senses, and we forgotten about the bliss is immortality and the journey to go home. We've forgotten our human life. The journey is actually from I to we. Yeah, in the sense that we so much so entangled with individuality, and we've forgotten everyone actually is the brothers and sisters. Actually, we are supposed to be from the journey from I to we. So if you all have the embodiment of love, it's so much of love, and then you can see the bigger picture. Example, if you open the newspaper and you see, let's say a few years ago in KL, we have the flood in KL, and I can see my young adult in my center. These children, I call them my children, because when I first time walked into the center 20 years ago, they are wearing school uniform. They're still a school children. But today they become a very beautiful young adult. When they're on the flood in Sri Muda in Kuala Lumpur, I can see my young adult, they going there. They finish their duty, their work, and they go there, they pack the things and they go there, they're waiting to serve. They find the way to serve. And they will come back at early morning, 2, 3 o'clock. The next day they go back again and again and again. I in my center, I'm not dangle a project like prepare for food or things to serve the needy or to help on the people in the flood area. But I'm observing my young adults. See, they to have the bliss to see able to come out in activity, to see the journey from I to we, to see whatever you see, their pain is a part of you. You have to have that feeling, it become and prompt to actions plan, and put in the Swami knowledge, Swami good insight, it become a practice. That is actually move me, and I see my young adult, how they transform. So having so much, having with you today, we talk so much, we cover so much of things. We cover from the body, from the mind, and Swami missions, having so much of knowledge. If we can't afford to put in practice, come in the action plan, and we cannot transform, cannot have the feeling, and then you ask for bliss, is a bit heavy actually. It's not tally with the amount of activity, amount of things that we should put in practice. So I always say the bliss come out actually because you have put in, you have tangled with the missions of Swami. You have to put in the action plan. Then to feel it, to feel other people, how you put other people in your shoe, to have that, eventually the bliss will come. Even that is why in the service, in the selfless service is very important. This is my take. Thank you, Sairam.
Okay, thank you, Sister Mei-Ling. Yeah, so this is where we have what they call understand that Swami said that the body is so precious and we must make full use of the body to reach our goal in life. It's this cyclist going up the mountain, okay? And this is where we need to take care of the body and the mind, okay? And for this, during the Sri Lanka event, we have got two empowering workshops. One is called EASE. E stands for how do we exercise regularly. A stands for attitude positively. S stands for how do we sleep deeply, okay? How many of you sleep deeply, okay? And how to eat responsibly, okay? And how to take care of the mind is that there must be consistency, there must be objectivity, there must be resource management, and there must be emotional wellness, okay? I understand that those who were there came back, they are what they call looking at organizing a session, okay, to go through this on the, I think, 1st of November, okay. I think the circular will be out soon, okay. Dr. Murali, just show me something on this, okay. So I won't go into this one, okay. But this is something which many participants, they find it so useful, and the company, they just want to share with the others, okay. So we got some of the facilitators who in Sri Lanka are here, Dr. Sabitan, Brother Ganesh, Assistant Nalini, and a few others, okay. So with that, I move on to the next one, okay. Okay, Brother Mukesh, okay, you share this with us, okay. Mukesh, can you explain on this, okay, or read out of this, okay, Brother Mukesh. Mukesh, are you there? Okay, if not, then let me read it out. Okay, ignorance is the cause of all sufferings, okay? So knowledge is the antidote to ignorance. So now that we have knowledge about what is ignorance, okay, does it mean that we are already no longer having ignorance? Does it mean that we are already realized? This is something that we need to think about, okay? And here it says that ignorance is like a thick cloud that obscures the brilliance of the sun of your true self. When you dispel ignorance, the light of wisdom shines forth. The greatest ignorance is not knowing oneself. To know yourself is to know God. Ignorance leads to ego, and ego leads to bondage. Break free from the chain of ignorance by seeking self-realization. Ignorance makes you see differences and divisions. Wisdom makes you see the unity in all of creation. True knowledge is not acquired through books alone, but through inner realization. Seek to know the truth within yourself beyond the limitations of ignorance. So how do we go about achieving this? This is where the integral yoga given by Swami, okay, the Bhakti yoga, the Jnana yoga, and the Karma yoga, okay. This is where the 9-point code of conduct is something very powerful for us to practice, especially as the first one is on prayers and meditation, okay. And then the purpose of life is to overcome ignorance and realize your divine nature. This is the ultimate goal of human existence. So Sri Sathya Sai Baba's teaching often revolve around the ideas that ignorance is a fundamental obstacle to spiritual growth, and that self-realization and knowledge of one's true nature are essential for breaking free from the cycle of suffering and attaining spiritual liberation. His teachings emphasize the importance of love, selflessness, and devotion as path to dispelling ignorance and realizing one's innate divinity. So with that, we have completed the presentation on ignorance, okay? So over to you, Dr. Suresh.
Thank you so much, Billy. It was, the second time presentation, a lot of things became much clearer and more obvious, and it was very nicely presented. We had a glimpse of what the ignorance is. And so nicely you've comprehensively brought different dimensions of ignorance and gave us the real truth. Thank you so much. So I just want to ask the others, if you're going to have that core and ease workshop subsequently on the dates, how many of people here are you all keen to join? Some of you who are not there, but would you be keen to be participating in this workshop, because the facilitators will. So if you're keen, you can just put up your hand and we know then you're keen. You can just say yeah.
Yep, there's an icon there where you can raise your hand.
Okay. And just raise your hands. And what happens is the FSC will go through very detailed in our Zoom session. It's all in the Zoom.
And our next Tuesday Satsang will be by group 2.
It'll be by group 2.
Yeah, group 2 on, is it Satya Ananda, Dr. Sister Boo?
Sairam will be on Sachit Ananda, but yeah, but I'm not sure if I will be able to present. Maybe we might need group 3 to go first, because I'm on call next Tuesday.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I'll just speak to group 3.
So group 3, who's group 3? Mr.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. We'll try and finalize the presentation. It's not fully done yet. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Fine. So group 3 we'll do next week, and then followed by group 2 following week.
Thank you so
much.
much.
4 or 5 hands coming up to be volunteers. Wanting to sign up for the workshop. Okay. Till we meet again. It's really been nice workshop. This presentation has been really good. Till we meet again, Sai Ram. Let's finish with a prayer, Billy.
Om Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, Sairam, everyone. Thank you for coming for the next Satsang. See you all next week.
And the team.
Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you,
Thank you, Sairam.
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 Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Right, Sarah.
Sairam.